It's got a heavy defeat here in North Somerset. It's finished 5-1 to Weston-super-Mare. Did it go sort of the way that you've heard a lot of people say before the game was going to go, and now it has come to fruition? What are your thoughts after it?
It's probably something that you maybe fear with what we've got available at the moment, coming to a place like this. Obviously yet to concede a goal. We've managed to score one, but we've obviously let 5 in. So people know what we're sort of dealing with at the moment. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm not going to go over it. I'll mention it once, and there's 9 players out, which is tough. So I'd say 7 or 8 of those players probably start, which is the truth. So yeah, listen, it is difficult. I think you only have to look at the team that started, the team that was at half-time, and then the team that finished. And listen, ultimately it's a bunch of young lads with a couple of sort of senior lads in there. But even our senior lads that finished the game, I think Roffy's the only one that's got maybe more than 10, 12 appearances for the club at this level. And the rest of them, it's the highest level they've ever played. So, and Adam Dubois, sorry, so the goalie. So, yeah, no, it is tough. It is difficult. I know a lot of people will say that it needs to be better and this, that, and the other, but realistically, we've lost 3 points. That's what we've lost. It's disappointing to concede 5. Of course it is, but we've got a chance to put it right on Saturday. I always like us at home. We've got Maidstone that are absolutely flying again. So, listen, bring it on. It is what it is. We're not going to be sulkers. We're not going to moan. I don't think there's probably a worse team in England at the moment with an injury crisis like we've got. But we have to smile through the pain and grit our teeth and get on with it.
Yeah, I'm sure people can probably pick up on the fact that even you're still sort of slightly under the weather yourself. You gave a start, of course, to Bryce Goff today. He played the full 90 as well. What did you make of him today? Yeah,
no, Bryce was meant to be on the bench until about 6 o'clock this evening, and I called him down to the back of the bus. I'd fallen asleep for 2 hours on the way down. I was sick this afternoon, and I was trying to be a hero. And listen, I'm not a young kid anymore. I'm not a spring chicken, so I just thought the sensible thing to do was to step aside. And we gave Bryce his debut. And listen, I thought he'd done well. And that might sound crazy, but I don't look at Bryce and think that he did anything sort of drastically wrong. He's got 90 minutes under his belt, and he should be extremely proud. It's a difficult night to come into for him. And I said to the lads in there, and you like to blood 1 or 2 of the young lads in at a time and give them a game, but at the moment we're asking for too much of them. There's some really good young players in there, and I don't want them to be judged on these performances, because they need the likes of Kiki Oshalaja, Reece Greenidge, Jordan Greenidge, Tyrese Dice, hopefully myself, experienced heads in and around them to help them guide them through. We had it as young players. We had experienced players around the sides of us that helped. And tonight they don't have as many players as they probably what they need. So we have been looking in the market for another defender. We put in a 7-day yesterday, but that will take a little bit of time. Of course it will. But yeah, we're just up against it at the moment. I think if you add the ones that have been fit, like Tariq, Balu, and myself of recent times, I don't think we lose 5-1 is the truth. And that's no slight upon the lads there, but it's just one of those things that we're used to playing with each other. We've had a few good results together. You have that consistency, and then all of a sudden, bang, it goes. And yeah, listen, it's one not to dwell on. I think we need to be positive that we've got, what is it? Is it 34 games left? Got 34 games to hopefully start climbing the table. We're still not in a relegation zone, and we haven't been for 2 years. And I think that's something to be extremely proud of. Need to keep our head above water. We've got Maidstone this week. We've got a massive game next week, and hopefully we'll see some bodies back.
Yeah, luckily there is one player that will be available on Saturday. That is Harvey Walker, despite the red card he received tonight. What did you make of that red card?
Yeah, you could argue that's probably the most disappointing thing that's happened this evening. We could lose the game here 1-0 and still lose 3 points. We could come here with our strongest 11 and we could lose 5-1. But losing Harvey from something that was quite petty, I didn't think the ref had to send him off, if I'm honest. We're 4-1 down away from home on Tuesday night against top of the league. There was contact, which you might say he's tried to invite, but it's not like he's jumped over a leg or anything like that. People try and win fouls all over the pitch all the time, and if you're going to book someone for that, especially as a second yellow, it's a massive decision to make. And I'm just gutted for Harv, because I think Harvey's been brilliant since he's come in, and now he misses the game against Altrincham for something that I don't think needed to happen.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's the game against Altrincham because he's not eligible, is he? But he will miss the following league game now because of that.
Yeah, well,
So he'll have
there's
bit
a
of
new
break.
rule apparently in the FA Cup. So you can play for one club in the preliminary rounds, and you can now play for a different club in the first round onwards. We've been looking at it as a club, and we believe it's true. You'll have to chat GPT it and have a look. But yeah, no, that's a rule that's been implemented this year. So it's something to have a look at. We think we're right, so he would have been available. So yeah, no, it's hugely disappointing. I might be totally wrong, but we're pretty confident. So yeah, massive loss for us. Yeah, it's a disappointing night. I think our fans behind the goal can see at the moment that we've got a young team that that aren't giving up, that are giving their all, and I can see that from the sides. But to ask them to give their all and get results at this level is tough. It's ridiculous, ridiculously tough how it is in this league. It's getting stronger by the year. Weston obviously sitting top of the table on a Tuesday night away from home. It's taken us just under 4 hours to get here. So yeah, listen, odds were stacked against us, and we've come out on the end where probably most people would have predicted. But we went into the game with belief. I thought at 1-1 we might be able to stay in the game a little bit longer, but then we concede a really disappointing set piece. And then all of a sudden the game just gets away from us against a good side that moved the ball well. The pitch here is absolutely brilliant as well, by the way. So it makes it really nice to play. And I thought at times we actually played some okay stuff in the second half. And I thought Jaden Drakes-Thomas again was at the heart of it. I thought he was very good. So just one of those nights, Con, that we have to brush under the carpet. People will have their say, but listen, things will only get better. I'm sure of that.
Thank you for your time tonight, Scott. Commiserations on the result, and we look forward to Saturday when we welcome a couple of former Rebels back in the shape of Maidstone.
No, I'm looking forward to that, Con. I think Maidstone's a team that historically we do well against. Hopefully we can get a good crowd there to support us for this week and for next. The people that are behind the goal tonight as well, I'm sure they'll be there again on Saturday. The die-hard faithful that come to Weston on Tuesday night, so ever so grateful for their support. It can't go unnoticed, and yeah, listen, we can only apologise for the result, but the effort and the desire was there this evening for all to see. But listen, it just wasn't enough.
Cheers, Scott.
Cheers, Con. Thank you.